We do work with the local authorities on responding to the tips. We help them with the information that we have, and then we help schools if they need assistance with how do I work with bullying or how do I work with harassment. And so we can help give them some information and guide them to working with their local authorities to improve what's happening in their schools.
When you say that you have a certain number of schools that have signed up to be a part of SafeOregon, what does that mean exactly? Does it just mean they've alerted their student body that they should do this, or do they register?
Yeah, they do. When a school signs up, they're actually registering to use the system. It's important for us at Oregon State Police to have contacts at the school to share tips with. We also want to, there's 40 different dispatch centers across the state, and we want to make sure we zero in on which dispatch for the school. So that's part of the registration, and then we work with schools with a marketing plan on how they can launch it out to their schools, notify the parents, notify the teachers and instructors that it exists, and how to make it a success throughout.
What percentage of schools or school districts are signed up?
So about 813 schools are signed up. There are about 1,200 schools in the state, so we're gearing on signing up everyone up.
The other question I have is, and if maybe look at somebody up there, but is there like a behavioral science aspect to this in terms of, like you talked about getting tips regarding someone might be posting something troubling on Facebook. A lot of times we hear that these things start out maybe 6 months, a year or so before planning and behavioral problems. How does that play a part in these tips?
Yeah, so I'll answer that question. So the tips come in all levels of severity, and in the event of a very severe tip or a tip that implies violence or impending violence, we pass that tip back out to our local partners, and they're going to work with county mental health and their threat assessment programs that they have locally, and they're going to look to see if that individual is on that pathway towards violence and take steps to interrupt that pathway and to get them into services to remove them from the violent path. So yes, we do work with our local partners, and it's not a 100% solution, right? Because the human condition dictates that we don't always know the outcome ahead of time. And in police work specifically, you don't always know what you prevented. You know when you went out and made an arrest, and you know went out and you did other activities, but you don't know what didn't happen as a result of our activities. And that manifests itself here in the school safety tip line.